Now let's talk about the call for secession as a fallout of the growing insecurity in Nigeria. Former presidential candidate and public affairs analyst Gbenga Olawepo Hashim joins me live from our Abuja studio. Good evening, Mr. Hashim. I read your article on The Punch yesterday where you highlighted the fact that a united Nigeria remains the best alternative irrespective of what the country is going through. I think you even referenced South Sudan. Talk to us precisely, what are those unique similarities between Nigeria and countries like Sudan? I think you mentioned Somalia and Ireland, particularly as regards what's going on in Nigeria currently.
It's my pleasure to be here. We were focusing on the fact that ethnic homogeneity of a country will not necessarily guarantee unity development. And that's why we were talking about Sudan, that this was a country where Southern Sudan agitated to be separated for a period of almost 30 years. They were fighting a war. It's 10 years after the secession now. The war still continues among political leaders in Southern Sudan. And essentially what we're saying is that it is not ethnic homogeneity that guarantees development and progress as much as visionary leadership, soundness of policy, and that the problem with Nigeria is not because it is a diverse country. The problem has to do with the over-concentration of power in the hands of the central government. So the panacea is not to dismember Nigeria. The panacea is to internally reform and manage our diversity by decentralizing power to the component states.
Indeed, and we've been talking about a decentralized Nigeria for ages now. Okay, so it's obvious you're saying secession or division isn't the way to go. What way forward for Nigeria now? You're not achieving that goal that you mentioned. Mr. Hashim, I'm saying precisely in achieving the decentralization of government that you mentioned in your article.
I can hear you.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, the immediate step that I had recommended, and I've spoken on the past 2 months on this, is for the president to take out an amendment bill to some sections of the Constitution right away that will ensure that we can amend the exclusive legislative list in such a manner that we might have things like state policing, local government policing, and items such as electricity generation, electricity distribution, electricity transmission, particularly at the local grid level, can also be handled by the states. We could also look at the control of the state government of mineral resources in the inland basins. Basically, you don't have any state in the country that does not have one type of mineral resources or the other that can fetch them some revenue so they can secure their space and cater for the welfare of their people. Right now, some of these mineral resources are controlled by different non-state actors in the forest. So why don't you just allow the states to have them? I'm sure that this kind of amendment right now, where we have clear national consensus already, could be supported by the state assemblies.
You know, what comes to mind right now is the question of what happens in the interim, especially at the time where...
Yeah, that's the interim. This can be done immediately.
Absolutely.
It doesn't take a long time for the president to do that. You can do that in a matter of 4 weeks, just as you amended the not too young to run aspect of the Constitution where we amended the ages for the qualifications of candidates. You can do that immediately. It doesn't take a big drama to achieve that. That can be done immediately.
Thank you for your thought-provoking contribution. Presidential candidate, Public Affairs Analyst Gbenga Olawepo Hashim. Good to have you on the news.